Hey everyone, and welcome back to Timeless. Today we're going to be playing a Paper Magic classic. This is Sneak and Shell. This is a very popular legacy deck, and people have tried to port it for Timeless for a while now, and it has always failed to find a place in the meta, really being residing in like the jank tier of the meta and being quite unplayable. But since the latest meta shift, a couple things have happened that have actually enabled it to be a fine and playable deck. Of course, it gets a boost by being able to include Force of Will, but really it's the macro level meta shifts that have finally given this deck like its time in the sun. For example, the worst matchup for this sort of deck has always been Dark Ritual combo. Dark Ritual combo would just trivialize the game, win way faster than this deck is able to, and kind of goldfish you. But now, not only do you have your tool to fight against it and being able to run Force of Will plus Force of Negation, you could run up to 8 copies. What's neat is that there's so many fair blue decks in the meta that these Force or these Dark Ritual decks have just been pushed out of the meta by all the various fair blue piles. So your worst matchup just naturally got shoved out of the meta. And I would say that in a way, the format is a little bit slower now that we don't have all of that pressure on turn one to be able to answer a Dark Ritual pile deck. Of course, there's different sorts of pressures that come in the format. There's lots of Strip Mines running around, lots of Ragavan style creatures, lots of Delver style creatures trying to kill you. But for the intents and purposes of this deck, I think you do have an extra half of a turn to play with compared to before we got Strixhaven, which is pretty cool and allows you a bit more time to actually set up your sneak attack and pay 5 mana to sneak something into play. Deck construction is pretty straightforward. This was originally put on the map by Math Mike, who got two 7-0s with it, and then a couple people refined it. This is Novos's list. You know, Novos is the show and tell guy from before Strixhaven, so I asked him for his particular version of it. It's running Omnitel now, and a couple of other things. Mystical Tutor is also an addition that he made. The rest of the deck building, it's like very straightforward, right? You're playing your 8 cantrips, you're playing 4 show and tell, 4 sneaks, 4 force, 4 stock up, 9 payoffs, right? That's straightforward stuff. Chrome Mox for your fast mana, 1 sync to the Stupor as well, 4 Ancient Tomb. Like, that's all very straightforward stuff that you can get in a first draft. The deck is playing 4 Vexing Bauble between the main and the side, which is a very fine thing to do in a Force of Will deck. You don't have to worry about this turning off your own Force or your own Omni. You can just sacrifice it. This deck is slow enough that you can pay the 1 extra mana to sacrifice it, or, you know, God forbid, just don't play the card. Just keep the card in your hand if you really don't need it. This is something that you will sideboard out for sideboard cards quite frequently, but there's enough blue decks in the meta that you are going to play the 2 copies in the main deck to give you a little bit of insurance in game 1. Mystical Tutor is also like a really sweet addition to the deck. Generally, a deck like this doesn't want the card disadvantage, but 2 copies is felt pretty good because you can tutor for your show and tell. You can tutor for your stock up when you do want the card advantage back if you really want to get digging. Those are the fruit main board tutors, as well as force if you really need to protect yourself, but you're going to be going down multiple cards at that point, right? Because it's -1 card to cast Mystical, -1 card to pitch cast Forced. But if you have a full grip, it's fine. Most frequently, though, this is tutoring sideboard cards, because pretty much every sideboard card that we have is an instant or sorcery. So it's very useful for that. It allows all of these 2-ofs in our sideboards to become like effective 4-ofs. If we go over the sideboard really quick, I think it's very straightforward. The sideboard's still like evolving as the meta moves, and this deck is kind of new. Like, for example, we have 2 Fire Magics and 2 Pyroclasms as your anti-aggro, anti-energy cards, 6 board wipes effectively with Mystical Tutor, plus you have all of your cantrips. So a lot of these hybrid cards are just 2-ofs because you can cantrip into them so effectively, and the deck building has to like level out a little bit, and the format's got to settle before we commit to a lot of 4-ofs in the sideboard. Into the Flood Maw is a recent addition as sort of a catch-all. I was bringing this in against like the Super Shredder deck so that I could like bounce their big shredders and like reset it, as well as bouncing like whatever heat piece that they happen to throw into play. Lithomantic Barrage is good anti-blue tech, anti-fair blue that is, to blow up their Delver style creatures. Vexing Bauble, you go up to 4 copies plus the Squelchers if you are up against the blue deck that's really kicking your butt. If you're up against blue tempo, you probably don't bring in the Squelchers, you probably just do Vexing Bauble plus Lithomantic Barrage. If you're up against like a more controlling slow blue deck, you're going to want all 6. Force of Negation for if you do happen to queue into the random Dark Ritual combo pile. I have really not been seeing them lately, but it's here just in case, and if those started to enter back into the meta, you would want more forces, and then 2 Blood Moon for any deck with a really greedy mana base that isn't too fast that you can go ahead and shut them off because you just fetch your basic island, and then you could operate very well under a Blood Moon between your 1 basic and your 4 Chrome Mox. And I think that's it for the deck. A lot of people should be familiar with this concept from other formats. It's been a classic, and it's really cool that you're finally able to play this in Timeless, so let's go ahead and play some games together. Alright, game 1 with Sneak and Show. We are going to be on the play here. This hand's like kind of mid. It does have sneak attack and the ability to eventually throw an Atraxa into play, as well as a Force of Will. On the play, probably, you're not supposed to ship this back. This is ahead of curve sneak attack, backed up by a Force. Luris indicates either energy or fair blue, so we're against a fair deck. Hopefully it's not energy. It is energy. Okay. This Force of Will is less good against energy. We have Sneak Emerald now, which is dope. I probably do want to protect my Steam Vents from a potential Strip Mine, as that would suck to have it Strip Mined. I have 2 Ancient Tombs, so I'm just going to play Ancient Tomb first. And then we will probably play Tapped Sink into the Super next turn, then play Steam Vents, just jam the Sneak Attack, hold up Force pitching Atraxa for if there is any interaction, any funny business. If they pedaled me here, I think it is Force pitch Atraxa time. Lot seized. Yeah, it's going to be Force pitch Atraxa time. And then we're going to hope that Emrakul Sneak Attack is enough to just win the game. Energy does have a lot of answers. They could have more discard spells. They could have Static Prison for the Sneak. Could have a lot of stuff going on here. We can go ahead and Surveil here. If we could get lucky and hit like a Chrome Mox, we just win. I would love for my opponent to pay 2 life to like shotgun fetch again. That would be really neat. And he plays basic. Alright, fine. Fine. So yeah, they have a bunch of ways to interact with me here. A lot of them would take me off my game. I unfortunately kept a hand without like any cantrips. So I don't have digging power like I usually would to get back on my combo. Chrome Mox. Oh, hey, that's the card I asked for. Nice. Okay, neat. So we're going to Chrome Mox pitch the Sink into the Super. I'm going to be very careful with Auto Tapper. It does like to mess with your brain sometimes. Hit, hit, hit. Make sure we get that red floating. Sometimes Auto Tapper forgets about the red activated cost and it'll like leave Ancient Tomb untapped. Obviously here it wouldn't because I don't have enough mana. But I've witnessed Auto Tapper do some funny things when you have an activated ability like this. So this does not kill my opponent. This lets them gain 2 life, so they go to 4. They will scoop it up because they're going to lose their whole board. But it did not kill them. They could have theoretically kept playing Magic the Gathering and maybe killed me, which is funny. But I have a lot of live draws, right? Draw any of my cantrips, stock ups, Mystical for stock up, any fatty. Pretty much half my deck is a live draw there. So against energy, we don't want the baubles, we don't want the forces. What we want is the fire magics, the pyroclasms, and then pick me on the last 2. Could be Floodmaw, could be Litho Barrage. I think I like Floodmaw for if they do have something like Static Prison. You could argue for Litho instead, though. Litho is just like a really good way to like blow up their Guide of Souls or whatever creature that they have that they're beating you down with. We have Fire Magic and Show and Tell Emmy on the draw. I don't think you can ask for anything better. Alright, it's Wagavan. I think we're just gonna, like, immediately Fire Magic this guy. We could also just, like, turn 1 the Emmy. This loses pretty bad to Static Prison, but after we turn 1 Emmy, we could just, like, Fire Magic to clean up the board, right? And that would also kill, like, their energy-producing creature, and we would probably just get our Emmy back. Alright, YOLO. Perhaps a smarter blue mage would be patient, but I'm not patient. So yeah, Static Prison would cleanly kill this, but like I doubt their ability to actually keep paying the energy. So they have to pay 1 energy here, right? They go down to 1 energy. If they play something like Guide of Souls, I just kill it with Fire Magic. And then they're not going to actually be able to recover the energy. Alright, they hit nothing, that's good. It would be bad if they had like Guide of Souls plus another creature immediately to gain some more energy. But it looks like on this board state, we are actually going to get our Emmy back, probably. We also have 3 different cards in our deck that bounce Static Prisons plus Mystical Tutor to find them, if we do want to go for that line. We just need to bounce it on their end step to be sure of it. Alright, Stock Up Gaming. I only need to Fire Magic for 1, so I think Stock Up Gaming is free right now. This is Mardu energy. They can't be playing Daze. There's your Flood Maw. There's a Show and Tell. I think we just take those 2 cards. Realistically, I'm going to Fire Magic here. I don't think I need to use into the Flood Maw to kill the Semi. Or to kill the Static Prison and get my enemy back. Right, pay your energy. Just gonna clean up these 2 here. Take my basic red, please. Right, Fire Magic for 1 mana. Right, and they need some sort of energy production, like right now. Oh, they go for my Chrome Mox. Very smart. Very smart. So they get +2 energy here. Could just go for the Bounce Emrakul line at this point. Or Bounce Static Prison 4 Emrakul line at this point. I have to do it on their end step. They went down to 15, so Emrakul kills in 1 hit, so it's a good idea. Keep in mind they have Luris, so they can like let the Static Prison break and keep recycling it for extra energy. Show and Tell has been surgical at sorcery speed. Unfortunately for my opponent, is not going to win the game because of this into the Flood Maw. Also, not how you use surgical. You should at least wait until my draw step if you want to do something like that. Alright, we're chilling. We're just gonna bounce this on end step. Gotta wait until end step, otherwise they'll just replay it. We're gonna decline to pay. Or decline to imprint for Chrome Mox. We imprint and then we lose the game. Alright, Luris comes back, and then yet they can replay the Static Prison here so that they don't ever run out of energy. Okay. And I give you a fish. Please accept my fish, sir. And then I hit you. You die. Game 2 on the play. We have a hand. Such a basic hand. I guess we do keep it. I mean, it's a sneak attack plus fast mana, so I guess you're not supposed to throw these back. But no blue pitch for force. Nothing crazy. I mean, realistically, we're going to play a bauble and protect our sneak attack instead. I would like another red or blue source. I don't think we need second bauble in the blind. Luris could be fair blue, and we could definitely want this bauble. Or it could be energy again. Everyone's practicing energy for the tournament tomorrow. I wonder if Sneak and Show is going to be popular at the tournament tomorrow. I think it will. I know a lot of people are going to bring it. I think it's going to do pretty well. Not saying it's going to do great, not saying it's going to win. Don't want to overpredict. But I am saying it'll do pretty decent. I probably am just going to like play and cycle this bauble, I think. And then next turn I just slam my sneak, and then I sneak enemy. Seems pretty reasonable. They took themselves off Boatmaster's mana, so I'm pretty free to cycle this. First, they're going to have the Dream Guide Pride one lander with a Deathrite Shaman opener. They always have it, guys. They always have it. I could force the cat. That actually seems reasonable. This force is not going to get too much more EV. Like, I could force a discard spell, but they're only on so many discard spells main deck if they're playing Deathrite Shaman. Plus, we have lots of draws in our deck. Like, drawing any cantrip, any fatty, now that we have sneak attack in play, is very, very good. But I don't know, maybe that was loosey goose. Maybe I'm supposed to be, like, really disciplined and wait for either Static Prison or a discard spell to come through. Because realistically, if I sneak into their board, I think it cleans up everything, even if they get some cat tokens. Now it definitely cleans up everything. That was kind of a bad keep from my opponent. Let's go ahead and throw Emrakul into play, and then we could like Mystical for stock up, so that we can murder them next turn. Alright, neat. Neat, as they say. Bubbles out, forces out. We want all the removal in the game. Do we want Lithos? Sure, if Litho or Flood Maw should be the last card against energy. I would say it's supposed to be Flood Maw, but kind of 50-50. Alright, on the draw this time. I mean, we got turn 1 stock up. Stock up is the best Magic card ever printed, as we all know. You stock up, you just find the exact 2 cards you need. It's just that simple. We would, of course, Mystical for Show and Tell as well. But realistically, we could go turn 1 stock up to turn 2 sneak. I don't think we need to overcomplicate it. We're also going to get Thoughtseize, so we don't get too much choice in exactly what we get to play. Hopefully they don't take my stock up. They took my Mystical, probably thinking I want a Mystical for Show and Tell, but honestly, like, stocking up on turn 1 is, like, better. This also does keep me off of stock up on turn 1, I just realized as I look at my mana sources, so maybe well played, opponent. Maybe they have more discard to follow up. So let's go ahead and play this tapped. Pass the turn. Hexing Sculpture, you got it. Stock up here. We can Pyroclasm whenever we want, which is good stuff. We could also just jam Sneak Attack this turn, but they could have something like a Static Prison for it. And I'm not under too much pressure, so I think we have plenty of time to stock up here. I would have liked to hit more mana, to be honest. I would have loved untap mana so that I could sneak next turn, but I cannot. I just take a Ponder Atraxa. Atraxa is just fantastic off sneak. I think I was supposed to take a Traxa stock up here. If they thought sees my sneak attack, then I could just stock up again, find another. I would love to just naturally draw an untapped mana source. I have a fair amount of them, so hopefully I can. If I don't, I'll probably just stock up again. Stock up broken, as we all know. Or maybe Pyroclasm. See how I feel. If they're not playing to the board, then, like, definitely just stock up. Like, I have all the time in the world to slowly assemble a combo of some sort. I'd like a Show and Tell or another Sneak Attack to make myself discard proof. I didn't get any of that. I did get untapped mana like I kind of wanted. Let's go ahead and take Floodmaw Delta. I have to get rid of 2 cards now, so I should be playing out my Chrome Mox here. Another Traxa on top. I don't think we need another one. It's just the question of what do we pitch. Probably Brainstorm? No, Brainstorm's my only way to dig. I don't think we need the Flood Maw that bad. And now we can Brainstorm to hide things from a discard spell, so if they go to discard me, I'll just hide Sneak Attack on top of my library. Bowmasters makes that a little annoying, but it's fine. We're going to sneak and win next turn, so it doesn't matter if we take a little bit of AoE damage here. Okay, just summon Luris, that's all they got. Cool. Alright, my turn. Hey look, it's fire magic. Alright, sneak attack. I sneak in Emrakul, it is lethal. Yippee! Alright, game 3. One the die roll again. So it bodes very well for us. We have, I'd say this is a non-starter with no cantrips. I'd say this is a non-starter with no real mana sources, just a Chrome Mox, Brainstorm. I mean, if we're crazy, we could go for it. We're not that crazy. Alright, this one is going to be fine. We'll throw back the extra Ancient Tomb and the Chrome Mox. And I guess we're going to turn 1 Brainstorm without a backup here. Yeah, we'll wait until turn 2 to do it, and hopefully we don't get strip mined off of our 1 blue source. That'd be a little unfortunate. If we queued into Mardu energy again, that'd be funny. Water Grave this time, alright. Strange to see a non-blue fetch in the blue deck, so they probably aren't running Hydro Boy.
I'll be in the library.
Looks like they do have some sort of free permission given by the pause here. If they force that, I would just let it through. Alright, I'm going to play Thundering Falls here, probably get rid of the extra mana source. I think Force Pitch Force is going to be good enough. Put this on top of our library like this. Steam Vents is on top. Steam Vents is going to get surveilled into the graveyard. And then next turn we're going to brainstorm again. Hopefully hit a show and tell and just win, right? Do we just win? It's probably Blue Black Reanimator, and they're probably not running Hydro Homie. Do we fight over this Tameo? What are the other things we're going to fight over in this matchup? We're going to fight over Entomb Reanimate. We're going to fight over them discarding me. They probably don't play much discard in the main. Flip Tameo kills me just as fast as an Entomb Reanimate, if you would believe it, because it's going to tick up to 4 loyalty like immediately, and at 8 it just kills me, so I think we actually do have to fight over this. And they might fight back. But if they fight back, they at least won't have the ability to fight me. Yep, another Force Pitch Force, Force Pitch Force, just forces all around. They do get their Tameo flip easy peasy here. And they will have another mana available to them too if they do want to, I don't know, entomb something. But yeah, really this is like a 3-turn clock. It's surprisingly fast. Because once they draw their free counter magic, we were not going to be able to resolve anything. Okay, brainstorm here, main phase. Ooh. You're supposed to jam, right? It's the bell curve mean. Just jam. We're going to jam this turn, and then next turn we're going to stock up gaming and hopefully get out of this situation if just jam doesn't work out for us. We could have stock up this turn and tried to show and tell like around Daze or with a bobble up. Oh wow, it just resolves. Neat. Alright, I draw a billion cards. Alright, this is a winnable game. I thought we were kind of screwed when they had Force Pitching Force and Flip Tameo so early, but I guess that was their only 2 blue cards in hand. Okie dokie. Show and Tell, Omni, Emrakul, GG. I don't like the fact that I can't take the stock up. Now that I'm taking this, I'm committing very hard to like resolving the second Show and Tell. I mean, I have an Atraxa play. How hard of a commit is it, right? Holy moly. Gonna get discarded here. That's unfortunate. And we don't have stock up gaming to get us back into it, but we also like kill our opponent pretty much in 2 hits. It's gonna have to be 3 hits because I'm gonna attack Tameo first to make sure she dies and does not kill me.
Respect the library.
This Atraxa should solo. Like the blue black deck doesn't have answers to Atraxa in the main deck. What are you doing? You're not treasure cruising. You're a card short in the graveyard. Don't get it twisted. They don't have answers to this, right? They play Fatal Push as their removal spell. Tassiger. Alright. Tasker the Golden Fang has been spotted. Oh, I drew stock up. It's the best card in my deck. That's funny. But yeah, they don't have Atraxa answers. Even something like Snuff Out that technically hits any creature does not actually hit any creature. I just Mystical for Show and Tell. GG, game's over. I don't show them that I hit the Mystical, though. And I'm Mystical on their end step. If they fight over it and counter it, it's fine. It's resources that they're using to not kill Atraxa. Because Atraxa's just going to kill them in 2 turns here. Right, nice. They scoop it up. Game 2 against Fairblue. Are they Reanimator? Maybe they're just playing Tasker. Maybe they're just that big blue build from the tournament. It doesn't actually have Reanimator in it. You're just playing like, Tasker, Kaito, a couple of random non-Loris cards to win mirrors. So I'm going to bring in my Squelchers. If they're Reanimator, I'd want the Force instead. probably don't want my own forces, and we stack the anti-blue cards. Try to run it like this. Part of me wants to cut Mystical, actually. Cut Mystical so I can either play more forces or Flood Maws. This force was very nice to have. Or play Litho, because they're playing Tamiya. But like, if they don't have blue fetches, they have one Delta. Because the thing is, if they're playing non-blue fetches, it means they don't have hydroponics in their deck. That, or they're throwing, or they were just on a budget and they didn't have the one last fetch. Yeah, we'll run it back like this. We'll do it like this, and then for game 3, when I have more information, we can sideboard a little bit differently. Let's just throw all of our anti-blue cards in for now. Okay, I mean that is in fact show and tell with Vexing Bubble. Kind of handy keep. We can even take our time. We could surveil turn 1, play our bubble around Daze. Or get to rest, and then they take whatever they want. The thing is, like, between stack up show and tell, they don't have, like, a good grab here. If they take show and tell, I could just, like, stack up into more gas. If they take bobble, they're letting me have everything. They do take show and tell. That's fine. Since I have 2 omnisciences, and I don't have a brainstorm available to shuffle them away, I think I want to immediately imprint one of the omnis. And then slam my bobble. And I'll play the fetch land so that I can play around Daze. I really should have played the fetch before the Chrome Mox, but honestly, if they fought over that Chrome Mox, I would have been chill with it. They actually don't have Daze available because of the swamp. It would have been Force of Will, silly me not paying attention. That is fine. That's 2 resources out of their hand that they are not going to get back. And then next turn, we just get to cast Stock. And if that was their only counterspell, then that is fantastic for us. Because I'm guessing they're going to play like a Tammy or a Frog here. So their last cards would have to be Blue Card Force at this point. Low State Gaming. Alright, you got it. I'm going to surveil now. I know I should just surveil and stuff. I know. Sloppy play. Dude, crucify me. We're just going to jam Force. I'm an energy player. All I know how to do is jam my cards on curve. Actually, ahead of curve because of this Mox. Wow. So they discarded my Show and Tell out of my opening hand, and then I still had turn 2 Show and Tell with Vexing Bobble backup. Obviously, they forced the Bobble. It's not in play. But I got the Force out of their hand. That's a goif. Unfortunately, I got Stock Up Gaming. Give him a thanks for the nice, my poor opponent. Stock Up hits 2 Stock Ups, as it always does. Stock Up is just a broken magic card. We know this. Brainstorm Squelchy. Let's go ahead Brainstorm here. Okay, there's a Mystical. So I probably Mystical for another Stock Up and I keep going, right? Mystical to shuffle. The best card to have is another Stock Up. So I Stock Up. Getting Stock Up Ponder. I Ponder. Getting another Ponder? Probably just shuffle. Or I could Stock Up. No, let's just shuffle here. And Stock Up. No way I whiff this, right? I have 2 Ponders to find a fatty. I'd cast all of my Stock Ups. Oh, wait, this is not fair. I didn't missequence this, right? Surely? Oh, there we go. Okay. That was kind of bullshit. Oh my god. Alright, now we're good. Cool. Alright, match 4. I lost die roll. Got no mana in hand as well. However, this is a turn 2 Stock Up Gaming. So we're going to keep this one. Let's keep Stupor as a mana source that can pitch to Chrome Mox. We're up against the GOAT from Reddit at 50% rank. This is very bad, chat. You don't know how the ranking works. That is kind of impressive to fall that far. Alright, we're gonna get Thoughtseize here. I don't particularly care what they Thoughtseize. Unless they're playing Reanimator, of course, which Pachuca Bog does, or not Pachuca Bog, Boggart Bog does in fact imply. Let's go ahead and start off with a Ponder here. Well, I do want mana sources more than anything. They could be like a reanimator pile, so I think we're going to keep this force on top, and we're going to go down a bit of card advantage here. Yeah. And the next turn we like Mystical for stock up or something. This is a little chopped, to be honest with you. We're force pitch stock up, Stupors a land, like Mystical for stock up to get back in this, I think. Okay, I just let them discard me here instead of forcing it. Now I'm not on the Mystical for stock up plan. Now I'm just going to pitch Mystical to my Chromox and stock up right away. Hopefully we find a blue card here. Show and Tell, Emrakul. Fantastic. Show and Tell attracts it just better. He doesn't have a Static Prison style card to answer the Emrakul, so let's go ahead and say that Emrakul is a bit better. I'm only gonna force if I absolutely have to. What is this junk? I guess I'll just let him take it, right? You could have it. Ah, my bounce card is unfortunately in play. Alright, that's fine. We could surveil into like a cantrip and then try to get it going again. Omniscience we do not need right now. We need a cantrip. We need a cheat card. Cantrip is pretty good. I think we're good to just Sorcery Speed Brainstorm here. Okay, it's fine. What do we want to do with this other Brainstorm and Ponder? Two things have to go back on top, right? And do we want forces? I think since the goat here is not like putting any pressure on, we're gonna go ahead and throw away the forces and try to like assemble our own win. I think that makes the most sense. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle here. Unless it's like Show and Tell on top or Sneak Attack. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be the pile. Play. We force a will here, and then we just jam Sneak Attack, and we kill him kind of slow. We'll force, like, anything. Okay, let's go ahead and jam our Sneak Attack. Don't know how we lose from here. I mean, we lose the double discard spell, but surely my opponent, who's removing counters from Dark Depths manually, would have had it, would have used the discard spell last turn if they had another one. I Sneak Attack Emrakul. Let's see if the goat here has something like a Shieldred's Edict. That would be pretty funny. Right, in combat. How you feeling? Is he feeling like he has a Shieldred's Edict? He's feeling like dismembering his own guy. Okay. That's understandable. Have a nice day. Alright, so it's just like Lance combo or whatever. That's fine. We don't need these baubles. We can just play like the extra... Actually, we want Blood Moon. Oh, it was a Blood Moon matchup, alright. Yeah, we Blood Moon him. And then maybe we want the extra force, maybe we want the Flood Maws. I don't want to overboard against this guy, because his deck's kind of bad. So let's just put the Blood Moons. Alright, game 2 against the Goat. We can just like jam Show and Tell on one. I'm down for it. Like, obviously, if he has a discard tell, he punches a hole in this, but, like, is he mystical? Nope. Okay. Gormox. Brainstorm. Let's just Show and Tell our Emrakul and win the game. We could go for Atraxa instead, actually, just in case he does have an Edict, because, like, his deck is in the colors to play that, and this will just, like, dig me for more cards. Okay, so he gets to take my mystical here. So I can't mystical for show and tell again like I would have liked to, but it's okay. Got plenty of other stuff to do. I'll take a Force of Will, an Omniscience, and a Atraxa, and a basic island. Actually, let's take a Steam Guns. Cool, and now we're gassed back up to 7. They do anything funny, it's just Force Pitch Omniscience, then we'll use stock up to find something else to do. Split Mine, coming through. Okay, I'm being attacked. I don't know what the plan is here. Do they want to reanimate it? I mean, if you want to reanimate that, I'm down. I'll let it happen. Like, I get my other card back. Hello, Mr. Reddit Goat. Thank you for participating in this game. It's the guy who posts on Reddit all day. If you don't recognize the username, that's why. Careful with listening to random people online. You don't know who you're talking to. Alright, game 5. We'll see if we can go for the 5-0 trophy this video. We got some stuff. We can go ahead and mystical for show and tell. I would prefer to have like a little bit more sauce in hand than just one ponder before committing to mystical for show and tell, but surely it works out. Surely my opponent just scoops to show and tell, as they usually do. Hello, opponent. Let's just ponder turn 1, and then mystical the turn after. Ooh, we're Vexing Bubble. Vexing Bubble does not help me if I want to play Omniscience. So true, bestie. But they are also like the Daze Shredder deck, I'm assuming. I mean, if my ponder gets dazed, who cares? They are getting applause, so it's probably worth doing. I do like this. Okay. Show and tell Omni, but I don't have any sauce. We're gonna keep this. Decline to shuffle. But probably gonna mystical for like a stock up. For after I put the Omni into play. Oh, okay, Split Mind. Yeah, it is in fact the Shredder deck. Alright, what do we want to do here, gamers? Gamers and gamettes. I think we want to... I want to draw this extra mana source because we're going to get Strip Mined. So I think I'm just going to play this Bobble. Which is very weird considering I like want to do a show and tell Omni line. And they're like be mystical for stock up and then just jam stock up next turn. Very awkward considering the Force of Will in our hand. Let's play the Bobble. We will in fact daze it. Okay. Do I force the daze? I don't think so, right? That would be excessive. That would be insane. So now if they strip mine me, they're hurting their own mana development quite a bit. And then hopefully we're able to just like cobble to a show and tell win. I don't want to fetch here because I just want to draw cards. Just want to draw the land on top of my library. We don't need to overcomplicate it beyond that. Hydro Homie, this can resolve because like we're gonna just kill him with Omni hopefully. Okay, it's a Tarn. So I'll play a Delta here. We're gonna fetch a tapped land, fetch island, mystical for stock up. This doesn't kill me here. I am in a world of hurt, but hopefully we just win next turn. Moon Shadow, yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, Super Shredder keeps growing. Get our basic. Mystical for stock up. And then we get our other basic. And if the last card is Daze, then I jump off a bridge. That's just how it works. Cool. Stock up gaming. Atraxa, we did it. We did it, Reddit. Shredder can still kill me around Atraxa, so we do need to keep going. Ponder, Sink. So Sink for the Shredder is pretty good. We'll take all these other cards just to have them in hand. Stock up. Hit Emmy. Fantastic. Take turn. I win. Cool. Alright, against the Super Shredder deck, I think we want the Flood Moss. We don't want forces, we want the baubles, and then we want the Flood Moss to bounce the Super Shredders. This is a very hard matchup, though. They put on a very fast clock, and they play like a lot of discard and the free counter magic. It's very tough to deal with this deck. Alright, is that a turn 1 stock up gaming? It is in fact turn 1 stock up gaming, turn 2 sneak attack. Let's keep it. Surely they don't Daze my Chrome Mox and take me off my only blue source. That would be very mean. Are they actually going to Daze my Chrome Mox? That would be such a bitch move. They're probably going to Daze this stock up, but at least I get to try to slam the sneak attack. And surely they don't have that many Dazes. My opponent's never had 2 Dazes. That's just not how it works. Hydro Boy attacks, they immediately get the card draw. Surely they don't have another Daze or a discard spell or anything nefarious going on. Surely not. Alright, yeah, let's just go ahead and jam the sneak, and then next turn we can brainstorm to rebuild if we do get countered here. Okay, resolves. Probably win this game. I don't think they have anything in their deck that can beat resolved sneak attack. I've been wrong many times before in my life, and today may be another one of those wonderful days. My opponent also gets to draw 1, maybe 2 cards here. Yep, Hydro hits a fetch land like it always does. They get to keep the chain going. Oh, Split Mine. They're gonna strip my red source? That's such a bitch move. Don't do that. They are. Okay. Alright, I brainstorm. Trax says every color except red before you say it. Don't say it. I will actually slam my desk. Actually, we could throw away 1 stock up because we want another red source just in case they strip mine me again. So I will clear the stock up. Stock up for once being a bad card I don't want on top of my library. Can you believe that? Well, I want exactly 1, just not the 2. So that 1 stock up can hit me a red source. Alright, opponent, you finally had a gas. Finally. We're finally cooked. Basic Swamp. That's not gas. Dark Ritual, Treasure Cruise. Maybe it's gas. Dark Ritual, Goif. Goif, yep. Yep. Super Shredder! Okay. Now we get to sneak in our Atwaxa. And then hopefully we find Red Source Emrakul. We did not find Red Source Emrakul, but we found Chrome Mox Sneak Attack, which is a red source, actually. And we found just a lot of digging. So now we cast Stock Up Gaming, looking for said Emrakul. We found the Emrakul. Neat. And then I put my Steam Vents. We did it, Reddit. Alright, and this is lethal. It's enough combat damage, thankfully, to take him out. If it wasn't enough combat damage, they would sack their whole board except Super Shredder and kill me. Almost kill me. The Super Shredder is just barely not lethal, but we still get to see a big Shredder here, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Traxa Lifelink would get me out of Shredder range, but it would have been close. Alright, GG opponent. Alright, my dearest MTGO booners, we have gotten a 5-0. According to the boomer crowd, that is the highest accomplishment you could ever get, and more important than winning a Pro Tour, I believe, so you can go ahead and plaster my face as savior of show and tell in the MTGO league dumps. I mean, yeah, this deck's pretty sick. Like, it's got a lot of redundancy. Like, I was actually playtesting it with Novos yesterday. I was playing Energy, because I was curious how Energy beats this, because I felt like it had a bad Energy matchup. and he was sure it had a bad energy matchup. Or sorry, energy has a bad matchup into it. It is good versus energy, and we confirmed that. Just because energy is trying to attack this deck with discard, they have so many A plus Bs, right? The old Show and Tell decks was 4 copies of the A Show and Tell plus like 4 Omnis and 2 Atraxas. So 4 plus 6. This deck is 8 plus 9 over here. It's a lot harder to discard. They have all of like the cantrips and the stock ups in the world, so they can play through that. There's no like catch-all sideboard card like Deafening Silence that's really good against them that you can put into play off of Show and Tell. You have to play something like Containment Priest, and that card's like pretty easily removed with like all the sideboard cards that they have. So no clean answer to the deck. Energy has also been trimming Static Prisons because Show and Tell stopped being a deck, so maybe all the Static Prisons should go back in Energy, but still, like you saw, we beat Static Prison. We played Mardu twice, beat it both times. No, this deck's pretty strong. I'll jump to conclusions and say that this is definitely going to be like an A-tier meta deck, but this is absolutely playable. This is pretty good. I think people need to start building their sideboards with this deck in mind, and like the tournament is tomorrow as I record this. It'll probably be the same day I put the video out. Curious if this does well in the tournament. I feel like it will. I feel like at least somebody's gonna top 8 with it, and then people are gonna start taking this deck like pretty seriously. And I had a lot of fun playing this Paper Magic Classic. Recently, I opened up donation decks as a way to support the channel, so if you want to see me play your favorite Paper Magic deck or deck from another format, feel free to send it in. I would appreciate it very much, and thank you to everybody who has already supported the channel. We've already done a few of them, and it's been lots of fun.